Right, everything looks good. Okay, let's get started. Right, welcome everybody. Nobody yet on the live, but maybe hi people on the recorded YouTube. So today we are going to look into Emacs color themes and how to write one from scratch actually. And that will also teach you how to edit some if you have any color themes that you'd like to change. So I'm going to make one and edit them and how they work in general. So in Emacs, color themes are just files basically. So you can look into one to have a brief overview. So if I look into my straight repo, it is Zeno theme is the theme that I'm using. So we can look at it over here, and so we see a preamble in eLisp, and then we have a def theme Zeno with the name of the theme and the comment, and here we have the actual definition of the theme, which uses custom theme set faces. And this is basically the part that defines the fonts and colors, etc. for the theme. So we'll go through this just to see the main ingredients of a theme. And finally, we have the provide Zeno theme. Now, Emacs doesn't evaluate the themes when it loads up, so we need to tell it where to find themes so that it can go and then load the theme file when we invoke the theme. So the first thing to do, I'm going to close this one, is we'll go into our init file. Init, I'll just open init.io, and I'm going to add to a variable called custom theme load path, which Emacs uses to know where to find themes basically. So we can have a look at what it's set at. Custom theme load path. Here we go. Alright, and we can see that I've got a few themes loaded. So straight, I've added a few themes through straight, and straight automatically added those load paths to the variable. We want to add our own as well, so we'll do that. I'm going to open up Tred in my emacs.d folder and create a new folder called themes. Here we go. So we'll do add to list and custom theme load path. Okay, and we're going to do emacs.d themes. Okay, so all my custom themes can live in here, and when I hit load theme and give it symbol, Emacs will know where to look. So we'll create our basic theme. Themes, my theme, yell. Okay, and now the next thing we need is a color palette essentially, and we'll just use the first random palette generator that I found. Let's try and find something acceptable. Some pastels, bit yellow, bit pink. Alright, let's take that one. So we'll decide on the background and the default foreground. I think I'll go with basically a dark theme with white fonts by default, and then we can use these for the rest of to add colors, basically for syntax coloring, etc. So let's start with the basics. Oops, I'm fumbling with my shortcuts. So I am going to start by defining the theme. And that will be my theme. and my theme, my custom theme. Okay, and we're going to set some faces, so custom set faces. Custom theme set faces is what we want to call, and if we take a look, custom theme set faces, the first argument is the theme, and then the rest is a bunch of arguments. The bunch of arguments is in the form face spec now comment. Okay, face is a face name, spec is a face spec, and now is whether to take immediate effect, and then we have a comment. Okay, that's a bit interesting. Let's just see how it works. So we're going to give it my theme's name, so my theme, and then we're going to give it the custom face definitions for that theme. So we'll start with the very basic, which is default, which is the default text, and we'll have a background. Default T, we want it to act now, and then the definition will be background. We'll make it black, so hash, and foreground will be completely white. Okay. And close the parens. Okay, so now we need to talk about the faces. So we've got to configure some basic faces, and then we can configure also some less basic faces, let's say. So I'm getting lost again in my shortcuts. Yes, that's where I want it to be. So you can find the list of faces. Oops. Sorry, I just reinstalled my computer and I'm not used to this. So there's a bunch of faces that we can configure straight away. The very basic ones that are big. So default is the most obvious. That's the default text. So we need to give it a background and a foreground. And then there's a bunch of others which correspond to the Emacs GUI elements. They're not really GUI, since Emacs is all text. That's what makes the most sense. So we have default, we have vertical border, and we have fringe. The fringe is actually, I don't have a fringe with this theme, but on the side of, there's a slight gap between the text and the bars on either side, and this is the fringe, so it can have a background color. The cursor, self-explanatory, and then the default font faces, so bold, italic, bold, italic, the region, so that's the active region, so it's when you do this. This is an active region. We have underline, which I'm not sure what it does actually. And custom face tag. I'm pulling this from the list that I've written, by the way. Custom face tag and custom state. Okay. One thing I found is that frequently you may find places where your color theme doesn't apply. Like in certain modes especially. Or you may wonder what something is. So if you place your cursor over the text that you want to see the font face name of, and then hit Alt X describe face. In the prompt on the mini buffer, it will actually tell you what it is. So with vertical, it's pre-selected as font lock string face. Otherwise, it's also stated here. So font lock string face. So if I did this with add to list, for example, it would tell me that it's default. Okay. So vertical border, I'm not actually sure what that is. But we can start changing the ones that we know what they are. I'm going to add a background. Actually, no, we'll make it inherit from default. Careful with my parentheses. I'm going to do a replacement. Boom. Now everything inherits from default. Okay. I probably don't want the region to be that way, so let's change the region. We'll change the foreground, because why not? So where did I put this palette? Here we go. So for the region, I want everything to be 8EEBED. Okay. And then let's try it. So we'll go to the bottom and we'll say provide my theme. Okay. So I'm going to disable my theme so that I can load that theme, and so it's going to look quite bright. Alright, I will do a load theme. Probably need to evaluate this first. And then load theme. My theme. Emacs.dtheme. Okay. Oh, I'll actually do it in the as an eval, so let's do it here. Theme, and we put T at the end so it doesn't ask if the theme is safe. Unable to find theme file for my theme. Okay. Oh, might be a convention this. I think I might have to rename this to my theme. Not sure about that, we'll see. So let's try again. Yeah, that worked. Okay. So what we can see is that there's some color. Like all the strings have a theme already. The keywords come with a theme, and like I didn't specify anything. So where does that come from? So I'm going to disable the theme, and load it back again. And let's see if that comes from the default theme. I think it kind of does. I think that's the opposite of what was there, so that's interesting. Split that together. So what do we have here? So let's do a describe face. This is font lock keyword face. Font lock keyword face is defined in font lock.el. The foreground is cyan. I think that's probably the default foreground when the background is dark. Okay, so even if we don't specify colors, colors come. But let's try to define some of those colors. So I've got some nodes which are publicly available. Documents 6. Alright, and there's a link inside, which is why I'm opening it up, to the font lock documentation for Emacs. And those are all the font lock faces that we're going to need to implement for things like strings, keywords, etc. So we can have our theme actually color things. And this is the bare minimum, really. So we'll go ahead and do that. So I'm going to leave that theme on for now. And we're going to look over here. And actually I'd like to change this because it's kind of annoying to have to type all this number of parentheses. I'm sure it's very flexible to do it that way, but it's really annoying me. So we're going to make a function. Function. So define face and making face, and we're going to give it a name, and then okay, docstring, that'll be fine. And I want my body, of course. So I want to return not that good with Emacs list, by the way. So don't be too. Does it return by default? I think it returns the last argument by default, so we'll just do quote, we'll back quote it and do name, and then we want to unpack args. Actually, we're going to do this name and the rest of args. Well, kind of want that. Okay. My theme face equals background. Let's see what that does. That's not working. Void variable default. Oh. How about that? Invalid function targs. Targs? Oh. Okay, default targs. Well, it's not unpacking args. Why isn't it done by keyargs? Keyargs. If I backput this and what did I do? Okay, let's have a look again. Yeah, that's more like it. Okay. So I'm looking at the mini buffer, by the way. I just evaluated this to make sure that my function works. It seems to work well. So that means I can replace these things with my theme face, my default background, foreground, okay. I find that easier to use. And then we can do even better. We can use a let statement, and we are going to give names to our color palette. So we'll have background, which will be completely black. Foreground, which will be completely white. And then just go up. We'll have blue at 0E. Can I select that? Blue. Hash. Okay. Cyan, kind of cyan. Okay. Hash. What is that? Sand. Red. And finally purple. Okay. That's my region. It's pretty fun. Okay, my theme face, default background, we want FG. Foreground will be FG. Vertical border, for my theme face. Vertical border, T inherit default. Okay. Friend will also inherit default. Gold. Italic, it's slant. Italic T. Don't actually remember. Let's just not have it be okay. bold. Okay, region. Will be foreground blue. No, cyan. Line. Stamp this tag and stitch. Okay, that'll do for now. And we have basics, and then we'll have font logos. Okay, faces, and I'm gonna get their list. Over here, so got warning. Actually, I might be able to get that over there. Info finder. Apropos this. This is for font log. Just info. Oh, do I not have any info files? That is not good. Now I do have Lisp and font log mode. This is for font log. This is for font log. Here we go. Like, yeah, that'll make my life simpler. So we've got font log warning face, font log current face, font log function name face, font log variable named face, font log face, font log. I already have comments. Comment face. Font log comment delimiter face. Font log typeface. Font log constant face. Font log built-in face. Font log preprocessor face, font log string, font log doc, font log doc market face, font log negation char face. Right, so this is all our boys. I am going to quickly convert them. With aregex. So font log, I want to convert that to face /1, and we'll take another default. Right. Okay, now we can get to work. So we have a function name. We'll make it go foreground will be cyan, and we want I've forgotten how to make it italic. I think I'll have a peek into an existing theme that I have locally. Which was custom theme. Let's color themes. Let's take one of them. Italic. Italic T, bold T. Actually, my bold is wrong then. Let's just replace that across the board. So bold with bold T. Okay, so we want remove that. Okay, so I want the function to be italic T. Variables will make them sand. Keywords will make them, I don't know, red, purple. Let's make them purple. Foreground purple. Okay. Types will be red. Foreground red. Comments will be we'll just italicize them. So italic T, and background will be white. And here we'll inherit from front comment face. Okay. Constant we'll inherit from front keyword. No, front log variable. Okay. Built-in will inherit from keyword, keyword face, preprocessor from keyword, I guess. I don't have a lot of colors, so I have to make do. String. Let's make the string purple. Foreground purple. Documentation, let's make it bold T, and color foreground will be white FG. Markup, same, inherit from front block face, negation, I'm not sure what that is. I'll just leave it as default. Warning, foreground will be red. Alright, let's go with that. So we'll eval it. And the file during parsing. That's not a good sign. Symbols value is void default. Okay. Well, that works. Symbols value is void default. Because of the inherit? Might be. Let's have a go. Default yes, yes. Oops. Quote. Yes, yes, yes. So we also need to quote these guys. So let's see. How about I change inherit space to inherit space quote. No, no. Yeah. Yes, no, no, yes, yes, yes. Okay, how are we doing now? Okay, it's happy. So let's disable theme. I wonder if there's a way to reload theme actually. That's okay. My theme. Okay, no, let's not do that. I forgot about that. We'll just load it through that. Alright. So we've got our theme working, at least at the basic level. So we've got comments are italic. We have strings as purple. You can look here, strings are purple. Variables are send and constants are send. Also we got keywords. Strings are purple. Keywords are purple? Oh yeah, keywords are purple. Huh. Let's change the strings. Let's make the strings blue. Oh, the keywords blue actually. Keywords blue. Blue. There you go. Disable theme, my theme, and we'll evaluate again. I don't know if I need to evaluate it, by the way. I'll just do it to be on the safe side. Oh. Okay. Right, so now the keywords are blue and the strings are purple and what's red? Function names are red. Describe face is font lock typeface. Okay. Yeah, that's not bad. Not necessarily my favorite colors, but that's fine. Okay, so that's how you do a basic theme. I also have some weirdness in here. For example, the... Oh, I've forgotten the name. That bar there in the middle is still the default color. It looks kind of weird. So do we have fringe, vertical border? It must be one of those. Which one is it? Underline? Can't be underline, can it? Maybe the mode line. Well, let's take a look into an existing color theme. Why not? Mode line. Right, so the mode line has its own definition. So if we wanted to change the mode line, that's probably what we should do. Let's give it a shot. Mode line, our face will be mode line. And we'll have the foreground as white. Background. Actually, no. Background. The background will be purple. Overline. Red. Underline. Red. Okay. No overline, no underline. Modeline buffer ID, modeline mouseable, modeline inactive. Yeah, let's do the modeline inactive. Modeline inactive. Foreground will be FG, background will be blue. Okay, let's take a look at that. Disable theme, load theme. No, I always forget. Okay, so we have our mode line, which is a bit funky, but it works. I'm not sure why that one's bigger than the other. Well, that's fine. Oh, I think it's because it's showing my currently pressed keys over there. That's okay. So yeah. So if you need to search for like specific font face names, you can either use describe face like I showed earlier, or just go through an existing theme like here. A lot of the modes provide their own font faces. So for example, in this theme you can see all of the ERC specific font face definitions. And one thing you can do as well is provide some customizable overrides. So Zeno actually has some of those, which I will find here. So if you look at the Zeno theme definition, you will see that it defines a def custom group, a custom group, and a custom variable to enable or disable italics across the board. So you can, it's basically code, so you can do whatever you like in the theme. You can make some things configurable or not. And yeah, cool. Right, I think that will conclude this session. And